Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. It is an absolutely beautiful afternoon here in Newburyport. It was raining this morning, it's already cleared up, and I've got the fan going here in the office, and it's just a beautiful day. There is so much going on, not only in Newburyport right now, but coming up this weekend, so I wanted to give just a quick overview of all the things that are happening. But first, I want to just go back to something I talked about last week. I mentioned a favorite person of mine who passed away, a teacher at the Bresnahan, Kim Dow, who I attended her funeral last week. Just a really sad story. A teacher. She fought cancer for 11 years. From Newburyport. Just an all-around, just wonderful person. And my son Oliver had her for first grade, and my son Ollie now is in fourth grade. So I just wanted to, I didn't mention this last week, but I did want to mention, in lieu of flowers, if people in the community wanted to do something in Kim's name, she did ask that people make donations to the Bresnahan School Library. All right. And so if you want to do that, you can make a check out to or send money to the Office of the Superintendent at 70 Low Street here in Newburyport. And she was just very committed to that library. She wants to see it grow and continue to have an impact on kids. She dedicated her whole life to teaching kids in Newburyport. So I really think that'd be a great fitting tribute to her, is to make a donation to the Bresnahan School Library. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that this week. Last week I mentioned that we raised the Pride flag here for Pride Month here in Newburyport, which is really exciting. And we have some events coming up this weekend. So I wanted to call those out too. So this is Newburyport Pride 2022. You might have seen something in the paper today regarding this. I want to give a shout out to Sarah Lord, who's the coordinator who helped put all this together. There was a nice little article about her and these events in the paper. So I just wanted to give them a quick little shout out. So it starts Thursday night with the Plum Island Beach Jam with Alex Anthony. Alex is a good friend. He always brings the funk and always has a good time. So if you want to go out to the Beach Jam out on Plum Island, that is on Thursday from 6 to 9. June 10th, DJ Women's Dance at the Newburyport Elks starts at 6 p.m. And then June 11th is kind of like the Pride in the Port Day, right? So there's going to be lots of events throughout the day. And it's going to start with we're going to do a ceremonial flag raising here at City Hall at 9 a.m. So if you're out and about at 9 a.m. on Saturday, come on down. We're going to raise the new Pride flag here in Newburyport, and that's going to kind of kick off the day, okay? So during the day at Bar 25 from 1 to 6, there's going to have DJ Dan Jones will be there, and there'll also be music in Market Square on In Street from that same time, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Sweet Paws at Riverwalk, time from 12 to 4 p.m. And then that evening, there's actually a boat cruise that you can buy tickets for that takes off at 6:30 p.m. And then also the Thirsty Whale will be hosting some Pride activities from 6 to 10. So lots going on. I would recommend checking out the Pride in the Port on their website and check out the events and some more details and if there's tickets needed or things like that. But so excited that we have these events going on, and I'm happy to be a part of that. So that's happening this weekend. There's also a big race this weekend. All right, this weekend is the annual Flag Day 5K in honor of Derek Hines. I'm sure you know this. This is they just celebrated their 10th anniversary last year, I believe, for this race. But just a wonderful event. They take off down by the waterfront near the boat club. So they take off kind of near the toll building, that area on Merrimack Street. But that race kicks off at 4 p.m. And I think the speakers will be speaking at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. And if you're around and you've never checked out this scene before, you don't necessarily have to run the race, but it'd be great if you did. You can get a number, you can run or walk the 5K. It's a nice little race. I think it goes down to Jefferson Street, then up to High, then down Kent, and then it finds its way to the rail trail, and you finish along the water through the rail trail, which is pretty cool. But it's just a wonderful event because we're honoring a Newburyport hero, Derek Hines, who lost his life in Afghanistan serving his country. It's a wonderful family that celebrates him every year. Again, it's that theme of service and sacrifice that I've talked a lot about lately with Memorial Day. And it's nice that they've done this, set up this foundation. And again, this is one of their big fundraisers, is this Flag Day 5K. And all the money raised goes to help veterans here in the U.S., which is really a great cause. But just the scene down there is incredible. I mean, there'll be a lot of military here involved. There'll be music, and it's a really great fun-filled family atmosphere. So if you've never checked it out, go do that on Saturday. I'll be down there. I'll be saying a few words around probably 3:30. But again, it's just a great way to honor again a local hero and really celebrate the family that he left behind. And again, it's always been tough for them. This is always a tough time of year for them. Coming through from Memorial Day and then heading to this Flag Day celebration. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the Hines family. And again, I think it's going to be a great event. So I'm excited to be there this year as mayor. So that'll be great. Another thing I am involved with this weekend is Sunday. I am involved in the Favorite Poem Project. Now, I am not much of a poet, but I do enjoy a good poem. So I did pick out a poem. So this event it's the 20th Greater Newburyport Favorite Poem Project, all right? And this is taking place at the grass area behind the Custom House Maritime Museum, okay? So this is happening Sunday at 2 p.m. and there's no cost. If you're a lover of poems, you can show up. I think it's supposed to be a beautiful day. And there's going to be all sorts of people reading poems that day. So I picked out a poem, and I'll just tell you because it's kind of related to the Flag Day 5K. But I picked out a poem from a Newburyporter named George Lunt. George Lunt lived in Newburyport, was born in Newburyport. He lived from 1803 to 1885. Okay, and the poem that I'm reading is called Requiem. And this poem, I'm not going to read it to you right now because I'm going to save it for Sunday, but this poem is all about a fallen soldier. And of course, I'm going to dedicate it to Derek Hines on this really special weekend. So I am looking forward to being a part of that on Sunday. What else is going on Sunday? Sunday, too, I'll just mention this real quick. The Pioneer League, which is our little baseball league in town for our youngsters, is having their Pioneer League Day celebration on Sunday. I will be in a dunk tank at some point at that celebration, and that's taking place from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there's also games going on during that time, but it's kind of just a celebration of the year. The Pioneer League year is closing down, and now the playoffs are starting there. So they do this every year. It's a really fun event. So again, if you're around and you want to bring the kids down, you don't have to be part of the Pioneer League to take advantage of it. You can come down and just enjoy a day in one of our mini parks here in Newburyport. So what else is going on? So that's this weekend. So obviously there's a lot of really fun stuff going on this weekend. So I hope we get some good weather, and I hope everyone out there can take advantage of it. The other thing I'm just going to talk about during my Mayor's Corner today is, we've been going through this budget process here, and it's my first time as mayor going through it. So I just kind of wanted to check in with everybody on that. You might have noticed there's been a lot of budget hearings going on. So the way I kind of explained the process before to you, when I first take office, this process had already started, right? So I work with my immediate mayor's office staff, and I work with our finance department, our head, Ethan Manning, and we begin to meet with each department and talk about what's the budget going to start looking like for the upcoming year. So we have all those conversations, and again, every department makes asks, and then, again, on the school committee side, as chair of the school committee, we start working with, Superintendent Sean Gallagher and his staff, and they start talking about some of the things they'll be looking for in their budget. So all these things are going on, and then you put your budget together, right? So on the school committee side, the school committee superintendent puts together a budget, and the school committee votes on that, and then that budget comes to the mayor's office. And on the city side, I work with Ethan and my team to put this budget together, and then we submit that to city council, right? Because, again, branches of government, city council control the purse strings, so the budget has to go through city council. And it's important to note that the city council can't add to the budget, but they can cut from it, okay? And then the chair of Budget and Finance, which is Ward 1 Councilor Sharif Zeid, sets up the budget calendars of how they're going to look at each part of the budget. So we've been going through all these budget hearings, and the budget hearings are usually done by department, and they usually have a couple departments a night that they go through depending on the department. For example, tonight, which is, I tape this on Wednesdays, is going to be the DPS, so Department of Public Services, budget hearing. Okay, and that's a big department because we have highway, we have water, and we have sewer, all fall under DPS. So that will be a great meeting tonight. So they've been doing all these budget hearings, and it's an opportunity for counselors to ask questions. Some, you kind of can go line by line and look at where we have differences from last year. There could be additions of completely new positions. Like in the mayor's office, I added a part-time mayor manager of special projects position who has been wonderful, Kim Turner. She's been such a needed and just breath of fresh air here in City Hall, and it's really, we've been able to do things so quickly right off the bat because of her talent and leadership in a lot of these areas. So that's just one example. And so, like any budget, people are going to, departments all ask for things, and I couldn't give everybody everything. So we really had to be strategic. Plus we're operating in a time where luckily, our financials are still very good, but inflation is high and costs are going up, and all these things have to be taken and accounted for when you're putting the budget together for FY23. So, like I said, I think this has been a wonderful process. It's been again, I think the department heads have been really great answering all the questions that the City Council has posed. So again, when we finish the hearings, then it will go back to City Council for a vote. And that's still another opportunity for the public to come in and make public comments, and it's more opportunities for City Council as a whole to ask questions as well. So I just wanted to fill everyone in there. There's just a lot of great things in there that I'm hoping we can make it through the budget process. We are trying to create a new position at the Council of Aging for an outreach coordinator. I credit Paula Burke, our Council of Aging director, over there. I think she does so much with a pretty limited staff over there. So I really think, again, our senior population is our biggest population here in Newburyport. I think that outreach coordinator could do so many things for that population to make things, a little bit easier in accessing them. And I think actually we would have more people take advantage of some of the things we have here for Council of Aging with that position. So I'm excited that we were able to include that in our budget. Our schools passed a budget where they were asking for a 6% increase in what they had last year. So I went back to them, and the superintendent in particular, and said, all the things that they're doing are great. They all fit into the new strategic plan. They're all valuable. I couldn't get to that 6% threshold. So I went back and asked the superintendent to put together a 5% increase. So, again, we have a wonderful working relationship with the school committee and the superintendent, and we just looked at what can we do right now, what's going to have the biggest impact in our budget now, and then some of those things we pushed off to next year, particularly since we just ratified the new teacher contract, and they're getting a 3% increase this year. So again, it was great to work with them. We got to that 5% increase, and got their school budget around $35 million. So that was a great, I guess, collaboration. And again, it's a learning experience for me as well, because I was on the school committee side last year where I was fighting for every dollar, but now it becomes part of a bigger picture. And again, I think we're so lucky we have such great leadership at our schools to work with around those issues. So a lot of really great things in the budget. We were able to add like a laborer at the Parks Commission. Again, we have over 27 parks here in town. That seasonal labor is so important this time of year to help keep our parks beautiful. We had a allocation for money to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Alliance, the DEI Alliance. So we had money put aside for that where they can actually increase their programming. We went from 20,000 to 50,000. So I'm hoping that gets through, because I really would like to see this work continue. And I know they have a lot of great ideas of the best way to utilize those funds in some of the programming that we can do throughout the city. So I'm excited about that. And so as we're going through that process with the budget, there's also our capital improvement plan, right? So I think eventually there's a bill going through the State House right now that will make those two processes line up a little bit more. But the capital improvement plan are all those projects that we're trying to do, right? So and some of them are funded different ways. So just a couple things that we're hoping to get through on our capital improvement plan this year is the skate park down at the Knock Middle School, improvements there, it's been long overdue. The salt shed up at the DPS, they've been asking for that for a number of years now. I think we're going to be able to do that. What else? The police locker rooms need an overhaul, and just ask any police officer about the locker rooms, and they'll tell you that it's been a long time since they've had any improvements there. And then another part of this, we have a lot of these big water projects coming up, and you might have heard of this a little bit. Storm Surge had a talk a couple weeks ago, and again, these projects are kind of out there, and a lot of them just revolve around protecting our water supply. So in the CIP this year, we're going to be able to do a couple of allocate some money for these things to get them more shovel ready, right? So design ready. So when money does become available, we can actually aggressively go after it because we've done the work and we've put the planning in place. So those are just a couple of highlights. So I'm not going to talk about the budget with you all day, but I just wanted to give you an idea about what we've been doing. This is the process we're going through, and we're coming towards the end, right? So the fiscal year changes over July 1st. So we've got to get everything in. The city council meets two times this month. We got to make sure we get all our questions answered so we're ready to pass that budget by the end of the month. Okay, so that's your quick little tidbit story about the budget. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but everything we do in this city revolves around the budget and how we fund those initiatives, right? So, and at the same time, for me coming in, it has to match my strategic plan. I'll just remember my 4 pillars of my strategic plan. We got to secure and invest in our city infrastructure. We've got to provide high quality public services, which is absolutely critical. We have to guide future development in the city. And then we also have to lead in building a collaborative and engaged community, which again, I've been trying to do every day since I've been here. So all those things we just talked about in the budget needs to fit in that strategic plan as well. And like I said, I'm thrilled it does. And it's been a very collaborative effort here at City Hall. And that's our budget update. Again, we have a big weekend. Get out there, celebrate Pride. Get out there, and if you want to get some exercise, check out the Flag Day 5K on Saturday. Just, 2 wonderful events going on. So there's going to be things going on all over the city. Get out and enjoy it. Have fun with friends and family. And I will catch you next week in the Mayor's Corner. Take care.